The third topic, added fullness, consists of 5 sections. There are bell sleeve, fullness at top puff sleeve, fullness at bottom puff sleeve, fullness at both top and bottom, and finally circular sleeve. In puff sleeves are designed with fullness at the top at the sleeve cap or fullness at the bottom hemline or both top and bottom. The puff sleeve can be any length including cap to full length. Dotless straight sleeve pattern is used to develop the puff sleeve and sleeve cap should be reduced to nil as little as 1/8 inch for the cuff sleeve patterns. Let us begin by learning about bell sleeve. This video shows bell sleeve. The first one is below elbow level, the second one is on elbow level, and third one is above elbow level. Let's see how to make these patterns using basic sleeve pattern. To make bell sleeve, use straight sleeve pattern. Mark midpoint between underarm to sleeve center. Square up the line to sleeve armhole. Do the same for the other side. Mark midpoint and square up the line to armhole. Do the same for the other side. Slash all the lines from bottom to 1/8 inch below armhole. Spreading should be according to the design requirements. Pivot at top and spread 2 inches below as shown. Spread 4 inches as shown for the next panel. Spread another 4 inches to the next panel. Do the same for the other side. Trace the pattern with elbow line as shown. Cut the pattern which produce bicep sleeve. Draw parallel lines above and below as per the design requirements, showing different variation in the length of the bell sleeve. Bell sleeve. To make a bell sleeve, you can use straight sleeve pattern. First mark the midpoint from center line to side seam. And draw a vertical line. Do the same for the other side also. Again mark midpoint between these two lines. Do the same for other side also. Then slash the line from the bottom to the top, just top 1/8 before armhole. Spread the pattern 2 inches from here. The spreading amount can be determined based on your style requirement. Put a pin. Then slash the next line. Then spread 4 inches. Then spread another 4 inches. Recording. The same way spread other side also. Spread 2 inches from center. Mark 4 inches. Once after the spreading, trace the pattern with the line. Draw the elbow line and remove the pattern. Connect the underarm seam. Draw the elbow line. So if you make it full length, it is called bishop sleeve. You can make it in a different variation. You can make till elbow, or you can go up. You can make a parallel line above and below, and according to the variations, and trace it separately to make a. So I am marking 4 inches above and below for design variation. You can cut in different levels to make a different length belt sleeves. Now you have learned belt sleeves, and mark the grind line. Cut 2 and add notches on the sleeve elbow level if required. Second, we will learn about fullness at top on puff sleeve. This design shows puff sleeve which has fullness on top. You can see a lot of fullness added on the top of the sleeve. You can see the rise also. It is not flatly fitted to the body. All over the armhole it has a rise. So we have to increase 1 or 2 inches extra for the sleeve. Let's see how to make this pattern. The video shows how to create puff sleeve with fullness on top. Use short sleeve pattern. Draw slash line evenly as shown. Slash the line from top to bottom of sleeve and spread 2 inches on top. Continue this process for all lines. Extend 2 inches at top of the sleeve as shown. Draw smooth curve line as shown. Trace the highlighted pattern. Complete the pattern. Puff sleeve with fullness on top pattern completed.
Puff sleeve with fullness on top. To make puff sleeve with fullness on top, use short sleeve pattern. First we have to mark slash lines. The distance between the slash line should be uniform. You can decide how many slash line you want. Here I am going to make 2-inch slash lines. You can make it 1 inch or half an inch according to you. More the slash lines, you will give more accurate patterns. From the center of the sleeve, mark 1 inch on both the sides. Draw a parallel line. Then draw 2 inch on both the sides. Draw a line. Draw a slash line, another 2 inch. Now we need the fullness on the top, so we have to slash from top to bottom. Don't cut fully, stop 1/8 above the bottom head. Slash the line. Spread according to your design. So here I want to give gathering ratio 2:1. So I am spreading 2 inches. Slash line also, distance between slash line also 2 inches, spreading also 2 inches. So it will give 2:1 ratio. So measure 2 inches here. Then put a pin. Do the same for next slash line. Spread 2 inches. Then slash the last line. Spread 2 inches. Spread 2 inches. Do the same for other side of the sleeve. Okay, now the spreading is over. Extend the center line. And mark 2 inches above the center of this line. This 2 inches will get the puff effect. The length will be more. Once you gather, you have to get that puff effect. So increase 2 inches. Now you mark all the corners. Center of the slashes. Now you have to connect from this point to center point to this other end. So first make a line. Increase gradually 2 inches maybe. Use the French curve. To make the smooth curves. Mark the center to make the center line, and you can transfer the dots approximately, otherwise you can measure and add the double of the measurement because our ratio is 2:1, and make the notches. Now you can remove the pins. Connect the underarms. Draw the center line, draw the grind line parallel to the center of the sleeve, then label, and add notches and add seam allowances and complete the pattern. Now you have made puff sleeve with fullness on the top. Add the seam elements and complete the pattern.
This video shows how the gathering is formed for the puff sleeve. The sleeve armhole length is more than the body armhole length. So first you have to gather it to match it to body armhole, then attach to the body. Automatically it will create a puff effect on the top. You can find lot of excess fabric on top. Here you can see clearly it is going up and down, it forming puff effect on the top. Third, we will look at fullness at bottom puff sleeve. This design shows puff sleeve at bottom. You can see fullness on the bottom. Top of the sleeve has normal armhole, there is no fullness, but bottom of the sleeve gather together, so it will create a fullness and it gives the puff effect. Let's see how to make this pattern. This video shows how to make puff sleeve with fullness on bottom. Decide the sleeve length. In this example, it is 3 inches below bicep line. Draw horizontal line for the seam. Cut the pattern. Draw plot lines 1 inch away from the center line. Draw other plot lines 2 inches away as shown. Cut the slash line from the bottom to top and spread evenly. In this example, it is spread 2 inches. Extend the bottom of the sleeve 2 inches. Draw a smooth curve line as shown. Trace the highlighted pattern. Complete the pattern, which gives puff sleeve with fullness on bottom.
Fullness at bottom. To make puff sleeve with fullness at bottom, use basic sleeve pattern. You decide the length of the sleeve. So I am making 3 inches below the bicep line. Just 3 inches below the bicep line. Cut the pattern. pin it, then decide your slash line. I am going to make 2-inch interval. So from the center 1 inch on both the sides. To draw the slash lines. Draw another 2 slash lines at 2-inch interval on both the sides. Then slash the line. Now we want the fullness at the bottom, so cut from bottom to top, stop 1/8 before the arm. Pivot at this point and spread the gathering you require. I am spreading 2 inches. Slash the next line. Spread another 2 inches. Spread 2 inches, then secure with pins. Repeat the procedure for the other side also. Now you trace the corners first. Mark the middle of the panels. Fullness coming on the bottom, so extend the center of the sleeve and mark 2 inches. Now gradually increase the excess amount to the 2 inches, then reduce 0 at the other side. Mark notches. So once you complete all the marking, remove the pins. Mark the notches. Mark the grind line parallel to the center of the sleeve and label. Then cut the pattern. Your puff sleeve fullness at the bottom pattern is ready. Add the seam allowances to complete the pattern.
This video shows how to stitch puff sleeve at bottom. So top of the sleeve is matching with body, so no fullness is required. Bottom of the sleeve, the excess has to gather together to make a puff effect at the bottom. Due to fullness, it also increase the width of the bottom, so that 1 or 2 inches has to be added in the pattern. Now you can see the relationship between the body and the sleeve here. You can find lot of fullness at the bottom of the sleeve. Fourthly, we will learn about fullness at both top and bottom. This style shows puff sleeve fullness at top and bottom. You can see that fullness given on the top and bottom also. Let's see how to make this pattern. This video shows how to make puff sleeve with fullness on both top and bottom. Use short sleeve pattern and draw slash line evenly. In this video, it is 2 inches. Slash the line completely and spread 2 inches away from top to bottom as shown. Continue this process for all the slash lines. Extend 2 inches both top and bottom as shown. Draw smooth lines both top and bottom as shown. Trace the pattern as highlighted. Complete the pattern, which gives you puff sleeve with fullness on both top and bottom.
Puff sleeve with fullness at both top and bottom. To make puff sleeve with fullness both top and bottom, you can use basic sleeve and you decide your length and cut, otherwise you can use short sleeve pattern also. Decide your slash lines. I am going to make 2 inches slash line, so mark 1 inch at both sides. Draw the slash line. Then draw another slash lines at 2-inch interval. Now we are slashing from top to bottom. We are going to make it separate. It has to be moved horizontally. So extend the bicep line on both the sides as a guideline. Then slash the lines. Make it separate. Move on the same line. Spread 2 inches. Slash the next line. Spread another 2 inches. Slash and spread another 2 inches. Do the same for the other side also. Now extend the center line. Both top and bottom. And mark 2 inches on the top and 2 inches at the bottom. Mark the corners. Gradually reduce and make it 0 at the side. Gradually increase and make 2 inches at the center. Do the same for the bottom also. Once you mark, then remove the pins. Draw the smooth lines. Draw the underarm. Draw the bicep line. Draw the grind line parallel to the center of the sleeve. Label the pattern. And add notches. Here you can measure the notches and add the double the length and make the notches here and here. Example, measuring here, it is 3.5 inch, so I will mark at 7 inch. In 3.5 inch, marking at 7 inch. This is for back, this is for front. Then cut the pattern. Puff sleeve fullness at both top and bottom is completed. To complete the pattern, add the seam allowances and mark notches, grind line and label it.
In this video, we are going to see how to gather and make a puff sleeve and add fullness on top and bottom. The sleeve draft is such a way that it has more width on top and bottom, and gather the top and gather bottom also to desired length, and match it to body armhole and attach to the armhole. So it will make puff effect on top and bottom as shown in the video. While making the puff effect, automatically it will rise little bit. So accordingly 1 or 2 inches has to be added to the pattern. You can see from the bottom, you can see the puff effect. It shows the relationship between the garment and the body. There are a lot of fullness on the top and bottom, and you have a raised effect, puff effect on top and bottom. Finally, we will learn about the circular sleeve. This style shows circular sleeve. You can see this design. The top of the sleeve is attached to the body, and bottom of the sleeve you have maximum flare. So let's see how to make this pattern. This video demonstrates how to create circular sleeve. Draw slash line at even distance and spread all the slash lines such a way that the underarm seam comes in 180 as shown. Make smoother armhole by truing it. Trace the pattern as highlighted. Circular sleeve pattern completed.
Circular sleeve. To make a circular sleeve, you can use the basic sleeve pattern and decide your length from the bicep line and cut it. Here I am using a short sleeve pattern which is 3 inches from the bicep line. So yes, first draw the slash lines. Decide your slash lines. I am going to make 2 inches slash line. So 1 inch on both the sides. Then draw another slash lines at 2 inches interval. 2 inches. Mark 2 inches interval on the other side also. Now we are going to make a circular sleeve which is circular at the bottom. So we need to spread at the bottom. So cut from the bottom to top and stop 1/8 before the edge. Cut all the lines. Now spread the pattern till the underarm come in the horizontal direction. So you can make a scale as a guideline. Try to spread equally. Till underarm touches the horizontal line. Spread it equally, then put the pins. And draw the horizontal line. Draw the midpoints. Draw the notches also. Measure the underarm length, then mark the seam here. So once your marking is completed, remove the pattern. For circular sleeve, you need not to leave anything extra because we are not going to gather the ends. So no need to add extra allowances. Draw the center line. Label the pattern. Mark the grain line parallel to the center of the sleeve. Then cut the pattern. Your circular sleeve pattern is ready. Add the seam allowance according to your design and complete the pattern.
This video shows how to attach circular sleeve. Sleeve armhole is attached to body armhole and sleeve underarm is stitched together. Sleeve bottom is let open, do not gather, so it will give you flare at the sleeve bottom. This sleeve is giving maximum flare compared to other sleeve. You can see the flare is spread all over. Now you can see the flare amount. It is giving maximum flare compared to bell sleeve and other sleeves. The next topic, cap variation, consists of two topics. There are cap sleeve and pedal sleeve. It will be developed till in and around bicep line. Normally, it is designed with 1 inch below underarm seam. It may be designed till mid of the armhole or any length at armhole. If the cap sleeve did not cover the entire armhole, then facing is required. The pedal, tulip or overlap sleeve is two-piece sleeve that is overlap on the top of the arm. It may be developed with front and back sleeve separately or all in one sleeve by joining underarm seam together. The gathering can be added if required on the top or bottom or both. Let us begin by learning about the cap sleeve. This video shows cap sleeve. You can see the length of the sleeve is so small. The underarm seam is about 1 inches and there is a curve shape on top. This is the variation of cap sleeve. It is short cap sleeve. It stops halfway in the armhole. Let's see how to make these patterns. This video shows how to make cap sleeve and its variation. Decide the length of the cap sleeve. In this example, it is 1 inches below bicep line. Draw a line and cut the pattern. Reduce half an inch to 1 inch at the top of the sleeve and redraw the armhole as shown. Reduce quarter inch at bottom of the sleeve as shown. Mark 2 inches at the bottom on center line. Draw smooth curve as shown. Trace the pattern as highlighted. Transfer necessary notches and label the pattern, which gives you cap sleeve. Let's see some variation of cap sleeve. Mark 3 inches from underarm as shown. Draw smooth curve line parallel to bottom of sleeve. Trace the pattern as highlighted. Transfer the notches and complete the pattern, which gives you short cap sleeve. Unit 8, Module 2, Topic 4, First video, cap sleeve. Now let's see how to make cap sleeve. To make it, use basic sleeve pattern. First, mark 1 inch from the armpit. Marking 1 inch on the underarm seam on both the sides. Draw a straight line. From here to here. And cut the pattern. Next, mark half an inch to 1 inch on the top, on the cap, and reduce it. Reshape from this notch to this notch. So we are reducing the cap height. Use the French curve to reshape it. Reduce it gradually. And transfer the notch to the new armhole line. Next, mark 1/4 inch the underarm hem, 1/4 inch. And draw the line. Then measure 2 inches from the bottom on the center line. And redraw the bottom hem. Make sure you are drawing a continuous smooth line from here to here. Then cut the pattern, start from here, go till the notch, and new armhole line, end, and reduce 1/4 inch here. For the hem you have to go inside and cut it. From this quarter, trim here. And draw the center notch. So this will gives you basic cap sleeve, and you can do another variation, that is called draw the grind line parallel to center of the sleeve and give the label. This has to be cut to left and right. So this will give you a cap sleeve. Then to make it a short variation of the cap sleeve, that is only on the armhole, mark 3 inches from the end, from the side seam, here and here. Measure 3 inches. Similarly, measure 3 inches from the underarm seam. While measuring the armhole, use the tape vertically. Do not measure like this. This won't give you the correct measurement. The right way of measuring is hold the measuring tape vertically and measure it and mark it. So I mark 3 inches here and draw a parallel line to the bottom hem from here to here. So I just make around 1 5/8. I am marking 1 5/8 here. So make a smooth shape. You can use the French curve. Now I am making another variation of the cap sleeve. This you can use as a normal cap sleeve. Cut only this portion. This gives you short cap sleeve. Bottom has to be, it normally have a double layer of the fabric, so cut 4. So this is another variation of the cap sleeve. It will come only off of the armhole, not full armhole. So now you learn how to make basic cap sleeve and short cap sleeve. Add the grind line and complete the pattern for the final garment. This video shows how to stitch the cap sleeve and its fitting. Attach the armhole to the body armhole and close the underarm seam, which will give you cap sleeve fitting. You can see that it is fitting very close to the body. On the top, it is going with the body shape and it has a definite armhole. This is another variation of cap sleeve. It is short cap sleeve. It is not stitched on entire armhole. It is only stitched halfway. So you just give a small cap as a sleeve. You can see from the side view. Just attached only the portion of armhole. And it will give you short cap sleeve. Next, we will learn about the pedal sleeve. This video shows pedal sleeve. The sleeve itself look like pedal, so it is called pedal sleeve. You can see there are two-piece pedal. One come from the front and goes to the back. The downside start at the back and go to the front. This can be done with single piece also. That is another variation. This video shows pedal sleeve with single piece. There is no side seam on this style. Front and back pedal sleeves are joined together and made this. You can see the center of the sleeve is not straight grain line anymore. It has a bias, and it is also giving similar fit like two-piece pedal sleeve. This video shows how to develop pedal sleeve. Use basic sleeve pattern. Mark 1.5 inch at the underarm seam. Draw horizontal line. And cut the pattern. Reduce the width 1/4 inch at the bottom as shown. Decide the petal shape. In this video, it is marked 3.5 inch from the center of the sleeve. Mark and connect to bottom of the sleeve as shown. Do the same for the other side also. Trace the back sleeve as highlighted. Trace the front sleeve as highlighted. Transfer notches and label the pattern, which gives you front and back pedal sleeves. Match the sleeve cap for correctness. Now showing the variation of pedal sleeve. Join underarm seam together as shown. Change the grind line parallel to underarm seam. Add notches and label the pattern, which gives single piece pedal sleeve pattern. Unit 8. Module 2, Topic 4, second video, pedal sleeve. Now let's see how to make pedal sleeve. Use basic sleeve pattern. First mark 1.5 inch in the underarm. And draw a straight line. This is 1.5 inch from the underarm. Then cut the pattern. Next, mark 1/4 inch in the bottom hem on both the side. This is 1/4 inch. Draw a straight line. The next step is from the center measure 3.5 inch on both the side and do a mark. Measuring from center, measure 3.5 inch. Then connect from this mark to bottom hem through a curve shape. Similarly, the other side also mark from this 3.5 inch mark to this bottom hem, connect the same mirror as this. You can alternatively you can fold and trace it so that you will get a same shape as this. So I am going to fold on the center line. Crease the center line. Trace it. Then open. You will get an impression. So follow this for the front. Now you have the red color one, it comes front part, the another one comes as a back part. Now you have to trace it separately because there is a overlap here. Trace it separately for front and back. Now I am going to trace back part. Trace it on the curve line. Then underarm. Then the armhole. Mark the notches. Here is mark the center line. Draw the center line. Draw underarm. Draw the grain line parallel to the center line. And give the label and mark notches. One notch on the center. This is back. Cut 2. Similarly, trace the front. Front part, start from here and trace the armhole, then underarm, which is 1/4 inch inside, then on the curve line, including the notches. Mark the notches, mark the center of line. Draw the grain line parallel to center. This is front. Cut 2. Cut the pattern first.
So now we made a two piece pedal sleeve. So you can see it should match on the center line, come like this. So this is we are having one piece on the front, one piece on the back. It's two-piece pedal sleeve. This can be combined together by joining the underarm seam like this, and it can be made as a single piece pedal sleeve. Now I am going to show that also. To make a one piece pedal sleeve, use the pedal sleeve what we made in the previous lesson. Join the underarm together and trace it. Put a pins. Trace the pattern. Trace the armhole. Mark the center line. Mark notch. Mark underarm. Mark back notch. Mark back center line. So once you mark everything, remove the pattern. Mark the grain line parallel to underarm. Pedal sleeve. One piece. Cut to grain line and cut the pattern. Make sure on the underarm seam it should be smooth. There should be continuity in the armhole. Fold the pattern and check, match the center line. The armhole should match. So you will get a pedal sleeve, one piece pedal sleeve like this, and this is two piece pedal sleeve. The grain line changes between these two. Now you learn how to make pedal sleeve.
This video shows how to construct two-piece pedal sleeve. It has one front pedal sleeve and back pedal sleeve which has overlap on the middle. Attach front overlap portion of front and back together, then attach with the body armhole. Close the underarm seam which will result two-piece pedal sleeve as shown in the graphics. So it is giving a pedal effect. There will be overlap in the middle portion. This is the same fitting from side view. Attach both sleeve together and overlap portion and attach to the body. This was the fitting of the pedal sleeve. It is also fitting closely to the body. Fitting wise there is no much difference. This is showing one piece pedal sleeve. So there is no side seam. Pedal sleeve is kept all around the body. First attach the overlap portion and make it as a normal sleeve and attach to the body. This is also giving similar fit as two-piece pedal sleeve, but if you notice that center grain line will change. In the two-piece sleeve, grain line will be exactly on the center crease line. Here it will be little bias because of single piece. Otherwise, fitting of both the sleeves is similar. This shows the fitting. It is also giving a very close fitting to the body. The fifth and final topic is two-piece sleeves. Two-piece sleeve is fitted sleeve with two vertical seam lines but without underarm seam. It is often used in tailored dresses, shoots and coats. Use basic sleeve with elbow dot to develop the two-piece sleeves. This sleeve is shaped to fit the elbow forward bend as per the body shape. Ease is built in into the outer sleeve to allow the elbow movement. Sometimes undersleeve is cut on bias for the additional ease. A vent opening often found at the back sleeve. This style shows two-piece sleeve. You can see that there is one upper sleeve and one under sleeve. It is sewn in two different fabric. There is no underarm seam. You can see that the shape of the sleeve has go with the body shape. You may find these kind of sleeve in coats, jackets, etc. Let's see how to make this pattern. This video demonstrates how to make two-piece sleeve. Use basic sleeve pattern with elbow dot. Divide the bicep line into 4 equal parts and mark points. Draw vertical lines as shown. Fold the pattern as shown and trace the armhole to center of the sleeve. Label A and B as shown. Label C at center of the sleeve on bicep line. Label D at the bicep line. D to E is 1/4 of an inch. Draw vertical line from E to armhole. And label F. Similarly, mark G, H and I on the other side as shown. Mark J and K by folding the pattern and transfer I and F. Divide sleeve bottom into 4 equal parts. And label L and M as shown. Divide the elbow line into 4 equal parts. Label N and O as shown. Draw line by connecting A, N to L. Draw line by connecting B, O to M. Mark 1 inch on both the sides from N and label N1 and N2. Mark 3/4 of an inch away from L and label L1 and L2. Connect J, N1 and L1. Connect F, N2 and L2. Mark 1 inch on both sides from O and mark O1 and O2. Mark 3/4 of an inch from M and mark M1 and M2. Connect J, O2 and M2. Connect K, O1 and M1 as shown. Trace the highlighted area to get the upper sleeve. Trace the highlighted area to get the undersleeve. Through the seams. Add notches on 1.5 inch above and below at back elbow level. And match the notches. Upper sleeve will have a little extra which has to gather to get the elbow dot effect. Flip the undersleeve pattern, add notches and complete the pattern, which gives you two-piece sleeve. Two-piece sleeve. Now we are going to learn how to make two-piece sleeve. For this, use basic sleeve pattern. First, divide the bicep line into 4 equal parts. Divide the bicep line into 4 equal parts and fold the sleeve like this. And label A, B and C here. Next, open the pattern, mark 1/4 inch, label D here, mark 1/4 inch on both the sides, and label E. Close this and trace the pattern. From E, mark a vertical line and label F. Label G
here and mark 1/4 inch both the side. Label H here and mark a vertical line. And label I here. Similarly, mark a vertical line. Other side also. And label J and K. Next, divide the bottom line, hemline, into 4 equal parts. Measure the total length 10 inches. Divide 4 equal parts. And label L and M. Next, divide the elbow line into 4 equal parts. First measure the total length. Divide equal parts and label N and O. To make a sleeve, first you have to draw a line from A to N to L. Draw a straight line. From A to N. Then to L. Similarly, draw a line from B to O to M. Then mark 1 inch on both the side from N. One inch, 1 inch, and mark 3/4 of an inch both the side from L and label N1, N2 here, L1, L2 here. Similarly, the other side also. First mark 1 inch at the elbow level, 3/4 of an inch at the hem level, and label O1, O2,
M1, M2. Next, connect from J to N1 to L1. Connect K to O2 to M1. This is forming upper sleeve. To get a undersleeve, connect from F2 N2 to L2. I2 O1 to M1. So this is giving you undersleeve. Now we have to trace upper sleeve and undersleeve separately. Now we are going to trace the upper sleeve. For that, you start from J and continue the armhole till B, then till K, then O2, M2 till L1 and come to M1 to J. So this will gives you upper sleeve. Draw the elbow level. Draw the center line. Draw the bicep level. Since it's a straight line, you just mark from here to here. So by using the scale, you can connect directly and mark notches. Join the elbow level. Draw the bicep level. Connect the seam, over seam and under seam. Draw a center line. Here you have to true it to use the smooth shape. True it properly. True it. Then cut the pattern. So this will give you upper sleeve. Draw a grind line parallel to center line. This cut into 2. Next, trace the undersleeve. Start from F to C to I to O1 to M1 to L2 to N2 and finish with F. Draw the elbow level.
mark I and F and trace from F to C to I. Mark bicep level also. Here it will form little V, but you have to smooth this area for the undersleeve. So remove the pattern. Draw elbow level. Bicep level. Smooth the shape. Draw the center line. So this is undersleeve. Cut quantity 2. Grind line mark parallel to the center line. Then cut the pattern. Now upper sleeve and under sleeve is ready.
you have to check the seams, whether the seams are matching. You have to check it. Next, in the outer seam, mark 1.5 inch and the under sleeve, both top and bottom. Make a notch. There was a dot here. This space we have to adjust here, because if you measure this length and this length, definitely this amount will be more on the under sleeve, upper sleeve. So if you match it, so you can find there is a difference. If I match from the top, you can obviously create nearly 3/8 to half an inch difference will be there here. To adjust that, to get the dot effect, match from the bottom and mark a notch. Similarly, match from the top and make a notch. If you measure it, it will be little more than 1.5 inch. So here is 1 5/8 to, it will come like that, but you have to match while stitching these two notches, so you will get the same elbow dot effect. But while cutting, you have to flip the pattern because it is going inside. So flip the pattern and cut. So transfer the details other side. So this completes your upper sleeve and under sleeve pattern. This video shows the pattern position of two-piece sleeve and its fitting. There is one under sleeve and upper sleeve. Upper sleeve will have a bigger pattern so that it will overlap inside, so that stitch won't visible outside normally. For this two-piece sleeve, sleeve armhole measurement will be bigger than the body armhole measurement. Normally sleeve will be 1 to 2 inches bigger than body armhole. This has to gathered before attaching to the body. So first make an ease and reduce the armhole length and match it with the body armhole, then attach to the body. You can see that the shape of the sleeve is go with the body shape and it fitting without any wrinkles. Mostly you can find these kind of designs in coat, jacket, etc. And these patterns mostly come with shoulder pad and sleeve cap also.